of Cards podcast, the show where we break down the art of creative real estate investing. Join us as we dive into the world of real estate with insider tips and tricks for making your investments go further. From buying with no money down to flipping properties for profit, we've got you covered. Plus, stay tuned for expert guest speakers who will share their knowledge and experience in this ever-changing market. So grab a seat and get ready to learn the secrets to success in real estate investing. And now, from Alaska to New York, your hosts, Chris James and Jesse Stanton.
Woo! Happy Saturday. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Dude, let us know in the comments who's here. What do you guys have going on today? Dude, Chris, how are you, man?
Man, I'm actually doing good. I'm actually...
Dude, you look good. You're having a great hair day. Your smile says $1 million.
So the funny part about it, right? So everyone knows that I'm in the Western New York. We had a crazy snowstorm, right? Again, 2 weekends in a row. Snowstorm still going on, getting another 8 to 11 inches. Fine, normal.
Yeah.
So this morning I woke up. I kid you not. I woke up. So my door was closed. My bedroom door was closed. You know, had the covers over there. I'm like taking the covers off. About to get up. Now my son's still asleep. I think he went to sleep last night, like really late. So I open my door. Feel like very, very dramatic breeze of just cold. Dramatic breeze.
Your key either went out or there's some demonic shit going on the other side of that threshold.
Right, 100%. So literally, I open the door, walk out, and it gets colder. Angel, good to see you. Good morning. Or actually, no, good afternoon. It's actually 4 p.m. A little bit after 4. We'll get into that a little bit later. But no, so I'm walking out the door, walking out the bedroom door or room, and then I go to the right, keep walking. It's getting colder and colder and colder. Now I can see my breath. I'm either dead or having a dream where something's going on, right?
There's about to be an exorcist. That's what's going on, Chris.
I walk past the dining room. I go into the living room. The patio door is wide open. Wide.
Bandits in town?
Wide. It's wide open. Oh I kid you not. So literally, first thing I see snow everywhere. So I guess the snow was blowing so hard it blew the patio door open, and that's what happened. Long story short, but imagine waking up like you can see your breath. You're like either I'm dead or something's going on. Like I'm ahead. Like I know I paid the gas and electric. I'm like, what's going on? The heat was on last night. So that's what happened. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy, guys. And so I just want to preface with this, guys. Facebook user, please make sure you grant StreamYard access so we can know who we're speaking to. If you go on the right hand side, you should have 3 little dots. We'll be able to see exactly who we're speaking to. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the snow this year. It's late past Christmas, but the snow we're finally getting it, which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, that was how my morning was.
Bro, oh my gosh. Do you sleep like a baby when it's that cold?
I do. I'd rather sleep in the cold than more so the cold rather than the heat, man. All day, every day. No matter where I'm at in the world. I gotta have cold, but not 100%. That damn cold. Luke, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I haven't spoke to you in a while.
Dude, we're actually having Luke on our podcast in I think 2 weeks.
Luke.
So we've got some really exciting stuff that he's going to share.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Well, welcome, guys. Before we get into it, I know you and your wife had what was it, anniversary?
We did. Well, no. It wasn't an anniversary. It was her birthday. She's turning 23. Again. No, it was great, man. It was great. We don't get to go out too often without the kids, and so this was kind of a special night. There's maybe 2, maybe 3 times tops throughout the year that we'll be able to go and just go be us and just go take some time just us and go without the kids. And they have this place. We went to this hotel in this town called Girdwood, Alaska, and the hotel is called Alyeska. And dude, literally, when you pull up, Chris, it's almost like freaking Hogwarts. Like it's all trees and mountains, exactly how you would think Alaska would look. And then boom, you got like this big hotel castle looking thing. It looks just like Hogwarts. It just pops out of nowhere, and it is the coolest thing. And they built this. What are they? Oh, and I'm losing the word now. It's called hydro. What is it? It's like a hydro spa thing.
No, it's like they got portable ones too. Like the ones you actually go in and like it's like a sauna or no?
Yeah. Okay. So they've got like salt bath exfoliation stuff. They got steam showers. They've got different types of saunas and cold plunge pools, and then the hot tub pools. And it was so cool, man, because it's in Alaska. So like it's hard to explain unless you've actually been to Alaska, but it's literally like what you would think it looks like. Like it's just mountainous and trees, and you go in here, you get your bathrobe, you get your slippers, you put your swimsuit on, you got your towel. And dude, last night we got there, we were going, it's all outside, and it was like probably close to 0 degrees outside, man. It was cold as shit. And they've got just a path, like, and it's kind of like an outdoor. Think of it kind of like an outdoor water park, but it's all hydrotherapy shit, man. And so you go from station to station, and you have different saunas and cold pools and little mini hot tubs, and it's just in the trees and in the wood, and it's on this paved path. And anyway, it's the most surreal thing in the world, man. So we went and did that last night for her birthday. Went out of town for a little bit, and it was awesome, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really great. So
it's ready
back to the grind now.
I can't wait to actually go to Alaska. This experience, not just what you just stated, but the North Pole. I'm very excited about the North Pole, especially during that time of the season.
We're gonna go see Santa in June. We're gonna get pictures of me and you, Chris, sitting on Santa's lap in June in North Pole, Alaska.
Definitely, man. I'm actually excited. That's gonna be pretty neat. Just to see that entire atmosphere and just I guess a couple moose gonna be down there along with the elves and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you'll probably see a couple moose wearing some Santa hats, and you'll see all of Santa's reindeer. And dude, it's the neatest thing, dude. Like even when you go to McDonald's in North Pole, Alaska, even like the light poles in the parking lot, they're all candy cane, man. Like year round. It's the neatest thing.
So Brandon asks, did you at least go skiing where you're up there?
My wife did, if you know what I mean. No, you ever watch The Office, Chris?
I have.
So you've seen it, but like, do you watch it? Like, were you obsessed with it?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you'll know this reference or not. Do you know who Kevin is from The Office?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's this running joke between me and my wife, and anytime we ever get the chance to go out, because it's so far and few in between. It's like, well, what if we're gonna go out? Like, what should we go do? And it's always there's a thing that Kevin says in The Office, and he's like, I want to be wined and dined and 69. But it was great, man. It was awesome. We don't have professional sports or anything up here, so even when we do go out and take the kids, it's usually over to Alyeska to jump on the beds and play in the swimming pool and all things. So that's kind of us going to a Knicks game or something.
There you go. It's
a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Brandon. So Chris is a professional chef, and he's gonna go fishing, and we're gonna cook something up right then and there, dude. Actually, if you want to come up, that would be sick. That would be awesome. If anybody that's watching this or is watching this in the future, any of you guys want to come up and hang out, Chris and I are gonna be doing it up big up here in June this year. So I'm really excited. We got a lot of really good stuff coming up. We're going to be going all over Alaska. We're going to be doing all the fishing, the cooking, and the masterminding, man. It's going to be really great. It's going to be awesome. We got a lot of great stuff going on this year, Chris. Last year was such a pivotal year for us, man. The amount of growth, the relationships, getting really dialed into honing in who we are, what we're doing, and learning how to be CEOs in our company, in our business, how to attract opportunity, and how to learn and how to learn how to serve at a higher level that creates more and more opportunity. I'm excited for this year, man.
Yeah, I think that's more than an understatement, man. There's a lot. There's a lot going on this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm truly humble and blessed, and just this very thankful for where I'm at today. And being around people like yourself, right? You know, yourself as my business partner, one of my best friends, and more so, I'm just thinking about, not just thinking about, like every day I think about this, what 2024, 25, 25, that's crazy. 26, 27, like the rest of the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be life changing. And I know we're going to be building this and doing it for the rest of our lives. And I'm so excited about it. Then actually I can finally cook for you and Alex and the army that you finally have there and all that good stuff.
Dude, it's gonna be great, bro. It's gonna be fantastic. You know, there was a time, Chris, where when I was 18 years old, I couldn't wait for the year 2029 because that was the year that I was going to retire.
Yes, I saw that post, and damn, Jesse, I was trying to think. Imagine if you were still with that same mindset. Imagine if you're still like thinking about like if you was at that W-2, like you had to wait till you're going to retire at that specific year.
It's sad, dude.
It's crazy because I think, Jesse, the way we're going, I think we can probably do that within the next 2 years.
Dude, I mean, we could retire. We could retire. We could retire already if we wanted to. I mean, truthfully speaking,
absolutely.
But for those of you guys that don't know the post that Chris is talking about, I made a post. I think it was earlier this week, or could have been last week as well. It showed up in my memories of a post that I had made a long time ago, like well over a decade ago. And it said something about 6,000 or 6,000. Maybe it was 6,661 days until I retire. Can't wait. And I think when you do the math, go ahead, you guys can do the math real quick, but I think that math comes out to like 18 years. And so that post was from sometime in my second year while I was in the Air Force. Now you can retire at 20 years in the Air Force, and I'm on year 2. How pathetic is that to be on year 2? And I'm already counting down the days, man. Chris, when you were in elementary school, did you guys ever use like the construction paper and like you make like chain links?
Yes.
Out of construction paper.
Yep.
We always did that for Christmas, and we had like a Christmas countdown. Every day somebody from the class got to come in and rip a new chain off the chain link as we got closer to Christmas. That's kind of metaphorically speaking what I was already doing, and I was 2 years into the Air Force. Is there anybody watching right now that is maybe you guys are doing the same thing right now? I can't tell you, dude. I've had people in my family, dude, say the same thing as long as I've known them. Crazy. Dude, I can't wait 10 more years and I can get out of this shithole job and retire and blah, 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 blah. And it was interesting because they're the same people, Chris, that bitch about money. But then when I wanted to go off and make more money, do something for myself, do something for my family, they're the same people that were like, no. What are you doing? You can't be doing that.
It's so true.
Like, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing here?
My God. So true.
Dude, Brandon, 100%. Brandon was actually one of those individuals that I used to serve with.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, it's interesting when you can change your mindset, when you really buckle down, when you get clarity on what it is you're trying to do, when you find your why behind what it is you're trying to do. Because you're not always going to be motivated to do the thing. You're always going to have people on the other side that are telling you shouldn't do this. It's not safe. It's not a good bet. I mean, dude, my wife and I, so we we went out of town. It's about an hour and a half drive from where I live to get to Alyeska, to get to the hotel. So we're just sitting there, shooting the shit there and back. And on the way back, or maybe it was yesterday on the way down. I don't remember now. Well, the time is just blended together. It was this morning, actually. It was on the way back. And she was telling me, she was like, dude, Jesse, because I tell her, I'm like, because guys, Chris and I, we're not Grant Cardone. We're not Warren Buffett. We're not so far above and beyond where everybody else that like we lose that connection. We lose that ability to be in the trenches with you guys and to say, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going through. These are the conversations we're still talking about. Yep. Like Chris and I are still making these huge and drastic transformations of who we are, not only as businessmen and entrepreneurs, but as individuals, as fathers, as men. And I was telling my wife this morning, I'm like, dude, like this is so surreal what 2023 was for Chris and I and the caliber of individuals that we stepped into being. And she was telling me, she was like, yeah, Jesse, I didn't tell you any of this just because I wanted you to be able to stay focused on what you're doing, because I can see you guys out there. I can see the changes you guys are making. I can see what's working. And I didn't want this to be a distraction. But there were people that was even telling my wife, unbeknownst to me. There was like, they told her, they were like, oh my gosh, if my husband was in the military and he got out at 14 years and had left myself and my kids and everybody else to just open up to this what's the word I'm looking for? If I'd have left my kids open to that risk, that's the word I'm looking for, risk, I would have been gone. I would have divorced.
Wow.
And it was interesting because my wife's response was like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, how freeing. This is literally the best decision ever. Like, if anything, we become closer because of this. Like, it's so amazing. We've been able to come in here and just support each other and grow, not only as individuals, but together going through this process. I can't tell you how many people I've had that's reached out to me, Chris. It's like, hey, I want to be doing the thing. I'm not really seeing a big proof of concept yet. And my wife or my spouse or my husband or my girlfriend or my boyfriend, they're not seeing the results. I know I can do it. I know that I'm capable of. When I get my fucking check every single month and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at how low that freaking dollar amount is, I know that I'm capable of more. I know that I can do more. I know that I'm worth more.
Yeah,
but I just don't know how to get there. And they don't have that support and that unilateral growth from their spouse as well. And without it, it can be extremely difficult to have to grow as an individual and then sometimes feel like you are a tugboat as well.
Oh.
But that's why this podcast exists. For those of you guys who don't know, I know we've had a lot of people that have been following Chris and I for a little bit. But Chris, if you don't mind, for everybody who is fairly new to this podcast or to our Facebook group, do you mind like just give a brief introduction real quick, like and start with the name too, because I think the name is so pivotal. And I love that you came up with this name, dude, because it literally just describes our entire mission and philosophy here.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So the House of Cards with Chris, James, and Jesse Stanton, right? That came from more so, you got to think about it, like just within real estate. You buy properties, you wholesale properties, you sell properties, you do a lot of different variations of that, right? But within real estate, the name came from the House of Cards because not just in the casino atmosphere, but House of Cards. Imagine playing blackjack. You know, you have a choice if you want to more so take a card or stay. So when you're dealt a hand, it may not be a good hand, or it may be the perfect hand. But even if it seems like you got that perfect hand, you just never you never know what kind of hand you're going to be really dealt at the end of the day. We can close on a specific property and then realize, damn, you get into the property, start knocking down walls, you start finding there's leaks everywhere. You need a new pipe drain, you need a new septic. It's a lot of different things. Could have been avoided, potentially. But even if the house was built last year, the year before, you just don't know what you may find when you go in there. Things will be missed. And that's part of life. It's just when those obstacles or the challenges come about, you really got to understand how to attack them and who to attack them with. And those are key elements where specifically that's where the name came from, the House of Cards with Chris James and Jesse Stanton, because you never know what kind of hand you're going to be dealt with. You just don't know. Those who do go to casinos, let's be honest, like when you go to blackjack tables, it's a reason why they got cameras. They shuffle the cards for a reason, so you don't know what's coming next. It's a gamble. It's really a gamble. You don't know. It's just like juggling a property. When you buy a property that looks amazing on the exterior, then also you go into the interior, it looks great as well. You start knocking down a wall or two. You start going into the basement. You find out all these different things that you did not budget for accordingly. But it's just the hand you've been dealt. Now, I know you guys may or may not have heard of, like a couple weeks ago, actually maybe 2 months ago, we talked about one of our properties we had in Alaska. We did a fix and flip on. We faced many challenges. We faced many obstacles. That's another conversation.
Right. Understatement of the century, bro.
And we got through it. But I know for a fact, we would not got through this if we didn't have the mindset we have. Other businesses wouldn't just probably walked away or just probably just buried their entire business in this specific thing. But no, Jesse and I kept going. We kept going and going and going, pushing through. As soon as we think things was on the up and up in regards to that specific asset, bam, wake up the next day. You have this issue. You have that concern. We found out this. We found out that. Do we panic? Do we give up? Do we just put the business to the side and just focus on this one specific property? No, we keep going. These are kind of obstacles you want in your life, because essentially a lot of people think being comfortable is okay, right? And one thing about it, people say, "Oh, I didn't really do nothing today. I just made a few phone calls." Okay, what are you doing with the rest of your day, right? And having challenges and obstacles, is that something that Jesse and I really look for now? It's like, where's the next obstacle it's coming from? It's going to come from. Is it going to be a deal that we potentially may buy? Is it going to be something that we just found out far as that happened with one of our properties? Did one of the properties burn down? Not saying it happened, but just giving examples.
That's about the only thing that didn't happen.
Didn't happen, right? Right. That is true. That is very true. But more or less, guys, the House of Cards name came from more so just understanding that when you buy in properties, you really don't know what kind of hand you're going to be dealt with. You really don't know. So you got to stay open-minded. And when you're open-minded, kind of limits your, mitigates your stress. Let's just say that. Mitigates your stress and just understanding how to walk through those kind of things. But House of Cards with Chris James and Jesse Stanton, guys, if you haven't joined it yet, we have we got a great group of people in there. We created that group initially because we want to be a resource, and we want to just more so ensure that people have somewhere to go to when they need to find somebody, maybe keep each other accountable. You may need an accountability partner. And there's many other things that we have within the group that more so, I believe, Jesse, you want to talk about a little bit as far as what that looks like?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to, man. Yeah, thank you. Well said, man. Well said. You never know what kind of hand you're going to get dealt, man. That's just real estate. And you have to be intentional with the groups that you're in, the communities that you're in, the people that you're talking to, the discussions that you're having, so that you can not only mitigate that risk, but you can stack your deck in your favor.
Yep.
You remember that scene? That was one of my favorite parts on The Hangover. You remember the movie The Hangover?
Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
The only one that matters.
I was right. Okay.
One. And Alan's talking about like going to Vegas and they're like, hey, I don't know if you should be doing, much gambling tonight, Alan. And he's like, his response was like, who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. And I was like, dude, that is so right, man. Like, that's why this podcast exists. That's why our Facebook group exists. What if you could stack your card every time you went to the table, every time that you purchased a property? What if you could stack your cards in your favor to help mitigate a lot of that risk? Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to go exactly right. That's just real estate. And that's the shitty thing about it, is that it never goes right. But sometimes it seems to, when you look at what a lot of other people are doing, a lot of times it can feel like, man, how come everything always goes right for those people? I can promise you it's not. It's the fact that they're stacking the hell out of their deck. And if you're intentional with trying to figure out how to stack your deck, you can mitigate a lot of that risk. And it's not gambling when you know you're going to win. So Chris and I have taken it a step further. As we talked about when we started the podcast, last year was absolutely insane. Last year was freaking nuts. This year, guys, Chris and I will net multiple 7-figure incomes passively. That means while we're sleeping, that's not anything else that we're doing. This is just the awesome real estate side of things. We're on track to do that in a 6-month time frame. Pretty wild to think about. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had to be, this time last year, if you would have told me that even 12 months ago, I'd have been like, that's a bit of a drastical, overstatement right there. But it's so interesting going through this and just seeing how things line up and seeing how you change, how you operate, what your habits are, who you choose to spend your time with. And Chris and I have managed to do some wonderful and amazing things. But also at the same time, because of just naturally who Chris and I are, that's what I love about Chris as my brother, as my BFF, as my partner in crime, is he and I are so in alignment with anytime that we learn something new, it's like, dude, hey, who can we take this information and how can we go help these people out? How can we give them a shortcut? Because I don't see anybody talking about it or at least even communicating it in this way. Most people are actually only a couple moves. Oh, Chris, look at the last 3 months, bro. Look at just the last 3 months. Everything that we did, that effing blueprint to go from, we restarted a brand new business. Yeah. We dissolved our entire operation. We restarted a brand new business October 1st, 3.5 months ago. Ground zero. Brand new business. And we went from ground zero to over 60 doors that net, not gross, they net, guys, they net. Did I say net? They net. Like when you're dip netting in Alaska, we were netting. We are netting. Over $50,000 a month in net cash flow. That means Chris and I are netting that while we're sleeping. That means we're netting it when we're on vacation with our families. That means we're netting it when Chris comes over here and he and I are running all over and catching fish. And we're going up and sitting on Santa Claus's lap. That means we're netting that money during all of that. And Chris, how crazy it to look back. Look at all the shit that you and I have gone through 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how interesting is it that this is where we are, this is where we want it to be, and for most people, it's the exact same thing. I would assume most people probably got into real estate because they wanted to go buy and hold properties. They're right here. Their goal is right here. But 9.9999 times out of 10, most people take this detour. and it goes all over, and then it comes down here, and it's like, dude, you're right here, and this is what you want. It's interesting that there's only a couple chess pieces that you have to put into place that's between you and what you want. You guys remember that that animated graphic, Chris, with like there's like 3 different people and they're mining for gold, and then one of them is like that far away from gold, and he starts turning around and walking back with a hammer on his shoulder, his pick on his shoulder. Do you know what graphic I'm talking about?
I'm thinking of Lucky Charms. I don't know why. I don't know why Lucky Charms come to me.
I'll send it to you. Some of you guys out here might know what graphic I'm talking about. But for most people, that's the case. And a lot of times, you're only a few moves away from being where you are to where you want to be. But it takes sometimes for people to understand it or have that level of clarity, it takes months or years. You have to become Thomas Edison, and you have to be okay with being Thomas Edison. With each iteration, you're figuring out 1,000 different ways to not make a light bulb. I've heard so many people. I've heard Grant Cardone and Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary and Warren Buffett. I've heard all these guys say things. It doesn't matter about anything else. You only have to be right once. And you know what, Chris? We cracked through each iteration. We made lots of money. We've done a lot of amazing things, but we've cracked the blueprint on how to take what we've done just even in 3 months and scale that to multiple 7 figures this year. And it'll compound over the years to come. That'll be multiple 8 and 9 figure incomes. And to think, Chris, that I was counting down 6,661 days till I retire. That's so interesting to think. So with all of this said, to give you guys context here, let's go ahead and answer your question though, Chris. I wanted you guys to have that context. Chris and I have figured this stuff out. And we want to be able to give back any way that we can to help everybody else come along with us. Now, one thing that I'm going to share with you guys that has been somewhat of a mantra for Chris and I. Pace gave me this advice. Well, he gave everybody this advice when Chris and I were at a mastermind. He gave it specifically to me, and everybody else was there. And he said, don't be a tugboat. Go be a lighthouse. I was like, oh my gosh. That's such amazing advice. I mean, clarity. There's 2 types of people in this world. People that will drain the hell out of your energy, and people that will fill your energy tank. And with that type of clarity, it's helped Chris and I navigate who we want in our circle, who we want to be making money with. There's endless opportunity and nothing but abundance when you're surrounded by nothing but people that are filling each other's tanks. So with that said, and in the interest of stacking your card, we've created a monthly mentorship that is literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars of value. We actually just got done completing week 1. We just did week 1. This was week 1.
That is crazy to think about.
Wow. We kicked this thing off last Sunday. And it's not $20,000. It's not $15,000. It's not $10,000. It's not $5,000. It's not $3,000. It's not even $1,000. It's not $500. It is $47 a month. Now, here's why. Let me tell you why. Chris and I would love to do this for free.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons. One, that's 2 reasons, but it's mainly, they both kind of encompass each other. One is because more people, 9 out of 10 people, how many, and I'm sure you guys know these people as well. They get on TikTok, they get on Instagram, they see the guy wholesaling or in real estate, and he's standing next to the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and telling you to do it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go do this thing. It's going to be amazing. But I know you guys know people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They're more curious than they are actually committed. They love the thought of success. They love the thought of changing their financial future, but they're not. It's like, I'm not really. I don't want to actually do the work. So the reason it's $47 a month is simply just to weed those people out. So it's less than $50 a month. We have Zooms Monday through Friday, 5 days a week with in-person Zooms. You have access to all the recordings. We have, we've got a lot of people in there right now. I don't even know how many people we've got. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. It increases every single day. It's increasing. And here's the really cool thing is we have people in there right now who have paid over $20,000 for the mentorships that they are in right now. And you guys should see, dude, maybe I'll pull it up and I'll read some of this stuff, dude. You guys should see the things that they are saying. For some of these people they paid well over $20,000 for the current thing that they're in. And they're like, this is for $47. Like this, how is it that I paid $20,000 and for $47 a month, I'm getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of value? And it's interesting because these individuals that paid $20,000, they're not even mad about it because they're seeing it through the lens of their perspective they're seeing it through the lens of, I can't be mad about it because had I not paid the $20,000 to get into this group, I wouldn't have met these individuals that would have led me here to actually doing the thing. So I can't be mad about it. But that's what we have going on. This year, Chris and I are not only, at this point, Chris, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you real quick. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with everybody. I don't know that I've said this out loud. It's been hard for me the last 8 months. It's been hard for me to even set 3-year goals because there's been so much growth, Chris, that you and I have done in the last 8 months that it almost seems on a monthly basis like we're 10xing our goals. Honestly, every single month. And it's like, well, shit, what I wanted to do in 3 years, we're going to accomplish in 6 months. And then I've got to go set new goals. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's absolutely insane, man. And not only are we, I think 10x is almost an understatement this year, but one of the big things that we want to do is we want to give back in a way that nobody else is giving back. So if any of you guys are feeling like you're in the exact same position where you're like, all right, I'm ready to be around the right people. I'm ready to 10x my business. I'm ready to get serious. If you feel like you are actually more committed than being curious, guys, it's only January 20th. Let's go. We still have basically 11 and a half months to make this a phenomenal and amazing year. Chris, what are some of the things that people can expect? What types of Zooms and things are we going over each week?
I think more so the user experience with this mentorship is flawless. And more so specifically is the fact of you don't hear about book clubs. I don't think you don't hear about that. Book clubs, right?
You don't.
But also not just book club, we are also going to go over more so transaction coordinating, understanding exactly what the paperwork looked like, some of the legalities from state to state, from county to county, underwriting. There's a lot of lending that's going on out there, right? You want to know how to protect yourself. There's a lot of lending. People are, sending $50,000, $500,000, $1 million literally on a daily basis. You got to know how to protect yourself if you're going to lend to people. Understand exactly who you should be lending to. So we'll have lending, transaction coordinating, the book club. We also have underwriting, as I mentioned before. We also have one thing I think is very important. It's just the breakdown of your business, of your personal business specifically, what that really looks like. How can we help you 10x your business? Is it just a small pivot in your business that we need to help with? Or do you need to revamp your whole thing? Maybe it's the wrong business partner or partners. Maybe there's not alignment there. But we do that literally on a day-to-day basis to ensure that, one, you have the skills to be successful and the resources literally at your beck and call to really understand exactly how we can really help. And not just that, because a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to join the mentorship and you're just going to do a webinar, like a monthly webinar. But as Jesse stated, we're there daily, daily. To ensure that you're taken care of. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. As Jesse stated already, we have a lot of great feedback from people who spend well over $20,000, well, $15,000 to $20,000, and the value that we already gave in 1 week, they're very surprised. That's amazing. That's it's great feedback, but that's only the beginning. This is week 1. We got some amazing people that going to be coming into the mentorship that's going to be speaking. Amazing individuals, well-known individuals. This is the fact of like Jesse stated, you got to be committed. You got to be committed. You got to be consistent. You got to be more. Only you can change your life. Only you can change your situation. Only you can change that obstacle you're going through. No one else can. Stop blaming everyone else and just look in the mirror for once. If you're truly committed, feel free to reach out. It's not a good fit for everyone, right? But I just want to say, less than $50 is you can't beat it for the value that we're going to be given, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop doing what we're doing. We love what we do. The value we're going to continue to bring is going to be unparalleled, as Jesse stated. And not just that, like there's really no reason why you shouldn't be making about 6 figures a month. If that's your goal, if you want to make $10,000 a month, if that's your goal, we can help you surpass that. But whatever your goal or objective or task looks like, I'm a million percent confident that we can actually help you achieve that a lot sooner than later. There's a lot of people out there that have 5-10-year goals, 15, 20-year goals. Why not achieve it within a year, 2 years? Why you like I mentioned, I went live the other day. I'm a firm believer of this. Everything happens for a reason, and timing is everything. And I stand by, we really don't know how much life we have left in this world. So stop waiting. Stop waiting and change your life and your situation now.
Well said, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So Luke, man, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you, man. So guys who don't know Luke, Luke is actually a fitness trainer, and he's actually plan on opening one of his own fitness facility eventually in the next couple of years. So that's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah, I love you, dude. Luke. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here. Man, Chris, while you were talking, I was trying to find. I can't pull it up on my when I pull things up on my phone, I've got everything, but when I pull it up on my computer, it's all like effed up. I wanted to read one of these because one of those individuals that we're talking about that spent $20,000, mm-hmm. She actually shot me a message yesterday, and she said, "Hey, there's almost 4,000 people in this other mentorship that I'm in. I'm letting everybody know that they need to be coming over here."
I love that.
Now we are capping this at 100 people initially. So there's going to be perks and things for people that are within that first group. I'm really excited about. We've got a lot of really neat things that's on the horizon for this thing, man. And I'm just super excited about it. So if you guys are into, I mean, when you add everything up, I mean, it's less than the price of a cup of coffee would cost you every single day over there. You spend more on coffee in a month than you will learning how to go make 6 figures a month. So this is one of our big goals. We've made it at a price that anybody can afford, but it's just high enough where it's going to completely just weed out the people that are not committed. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me see if I can make this bigger. You know what, Chris? I went and got, when I was in the Air Force, I went and got eye surgery before I got out. And I don't know that it worked. I still have to.
We got to talk to your eye doctor, sir.
Government, man. It's the government.
That is funny. So before you go ahead and read that, Jesse, so we got a couple people saying in the comments, where do we sign up? If you go to rei-volt.com, volt.com, you can sign up there. If you got any questions, you can always reach out right either DM us either on Instagram, YouTube, or whatever platform you're watching from, Facebook. So I just also put it in the comments as well, guys. And it's also on the screen REI dash. You got to put the dash in there, guys. REI-vault.com.
Where is it? I thought I.
So again, guys, this is something that we are very proud of. This is something that we took time to really think how it should be executed, and more so provide the best value that we could possibly can to you guys. And a lot of people are seeing it. That's in the mentorship right now. They're seeing what the and this is only beginner stages. This is literally the beginner stages for what we
week
have,
1,
right? For what literally the entire year looks like for this specific mentorship. And as he's saying, we're going to cap it at 100. We're going to have a lot of perks for the first 100. And Terry, appreciate that.
Dude, Terry's in it. Thank you, bro. Thanks for being here, bro. I'm really excited, Terry. I'm glad that you're getting a lot of value from it. I think that's the big thing, dude. And other things that I've been a part of, Chris. You join, and then it's like, hey, here's a bunch of recorded videos.
And that's it.
That's it.
That is it.
Figure it out. We'll have a Zoom maybe once every other week or once a month or something like that. That's not how people learn. That's not how I learn. If you want to go make 6 figures a month, man, you need support more than just twice a month. So that's a big part of the growth and things that Chris and I are so thankful to be a part of, because this whole thing wouldn't even exist without you guys. So real estate is super dope. Clearly, Chris and I love real estate. But if you haven't noticed, a large part of how Chris and I run our business is 100% with the intent to just turn around and say, man, who else needs this shortcut? How many people can we turn around and help? Because that's why we're all here. That's why we're on this earth. That's what we're trying to do. It's what we love doing, baby. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to come in and serve and give you the opportunity to stack your deck, because real estate's hard. It's difficult. There's so much information. I was like, man, where do I even start with this bitch? Which door do I start? Where do I get the key to start this thing? Being an entrepreneur is hard. Here's how I think about it. Chris, I actually don't know that I've ever said this out loud to you before, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. But in my head, this is what makes sense to me. This is understanding this has helped solve everything. But this is the way that I think about entrepreneurship. There's 2 different sides to it. You have the business side, and then you have a personal development side. With a lot of other mentorships and things like that, they focus on just the business side of things. Or they focus on the self-development side of things. It's either or. That's it. You join a mentorship, you're going to learn how to cold call, you're going to learn how to text, you're going to learn how to comp properties, you're going to learn how to do all the tactical things inside the business, right? Good job, babe. Go take it to mom. There you go. Go take it to mama. You shut my door, please, baby.
And the third part is being a father.
Oh, dude. Well, Chris is over there cold. I got a 2-year-old running around with just panties on because she's hot. Dude, we're in Alaska, girl. It's like 5 degrees outside. Killing me. Go live with Chris. You won't be too hot. But there's two different sides of things, and it's so important to be able to be somewhere where you can grow these tactical skills. Like Chris said, the TC stuff, learning about paperwork, how to protect yourself, what to do, what not to do. I mean, that's such a vital piece in and of itself. But it doesn't stop there. Learning how to comp, learning how to underwrite, learning how to negotiate, learning how to communicate, learning how to articulate yourself, learning what sales really is. And then on top of that, being able to have a Zoom once a week that comes in and helps with the self-development, with the perspective, being able to get feedback on this stuff from somebody who sees things from a different perspective than you, sees things from an elevated perspective. Somebody who sees things about your business from a different vantage point. And in that way, you grow your self-development side. You grow the way in which you see yourself, which you see your abilities, which you see your skills, what to attack on. And then you come over here and you grow your business. As your business grows, it's going to stunt at some point. It's going to stop. Then you have to go back in. You have to work on yourself. You grow yourself, and then you go take action on the things that you've grown on. Then your business grows. This is what happens. They two have to coincide. And a lot of times, mindset is the issue for a lot of people, but you can't just start focusing all of your time, energy, and effort on just reading books and meditating and doing all the things and then not doing on the action stuff in your business. And you can't cold call your way to making 6 figures a month either. Because the second that you stop doing that, what's your business doing? You can't cold call your way up to 6 figures a month and then go to Hawaii for 2 weeks. If you want to make CEO money, you have to step out of the role of being a hustler and step into the role of being a CEO, which means you have to think differently. You have to leverage things differently. So I'm really excited about what we have going on, man. This is awesome.
Absolutely. Grady, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Michelle, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it more than you guys know. And more so, guys, just please let us know how we can help. Whatever you're going through within your business, let us 10x that for you. And really have that uncomfortable conversation of what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. Because I know a lot of people don't like to talk about financials and how much the business is making, but we need to literally specifically have those uncomfortable conversations to really understand what your business needs and how we can 10x it. Because it may be an uncomfortable conversation, but 2 years or 6 months or a year from now, from that specific conversation, it'd be 10 times more than your bank account. So it's okay to get uncomfortable. Get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Well said, bro. Don't be counting down the 6,661 days until retirement right now. Bet on yourself, man. As someone who's been through that, Chris has been through that.
Yep.
Chris came from the hospitality industry. Chris, I remember you telling me, bro, and I know you've shared this a handful of times, man. The money you were making in there, you were like, dude, 60, 70 grand a year, bro.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Fucking Donald J. Trump over here, man. Chris is over here making it rain.
Oh god, but yeah, transitioning from working a 1099 or a W-2 and going to the entrepreneur world, it's a different ball game, different mindset. And I love it. So yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. And guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget we're on numerous platforms. Whatever your favorite one is, whether it's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, I keep forgetting the Android one because I don't got an Android, but Google Play.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Android users
and Apple Music. Don't forget to subscribe. We greatly appreciate every last one of you guys. Feel free to reach out if you got any questions about what the mentorship looks like and you guys can get in. Don't forget, it's REI-Volt.com. Gotta put that dash in there. Go ahead.
It's actually, if you guys can see it, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. That's where you guys can go. Didn't our operations manager come up with that name?
Yes.
Didn't that come from James?
He did. He did a phenomenal job. Yeah,
he 100%. Did, dude. It was kind of like a revolution. Like we're starting a revolution here, but then you shorten it to revolt. We're going to revolt here, and it's kind of a play on words with REI. So anyway, I love stuff like that. I love little, semantics matter.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But guys, again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to be a resource. We only want to see everyone around us be successful. No ifs or buts about it. There's no competition or anything like that. We're on the same book. We're just a couple chapters ahead of you. That is all.
That's it. Make sure you guys are part of the House of Cards Facebook group. That's where you're going to continue getting more information, more tactical information, getting more into the weeds with this type of stuff. If you guys decide to sign up, as Chris said, REIVolt.com, REI-Volt.com is where you guys can sign up. We'll see you guys in the Facebook group.
Thanks for listening to the House of Cards podcast with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have learned something new about real estate investing. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips and tricks. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time.